name is Michelle Lavoie, and I created the first and second Gay and Lesbian Film Festival in Edmonton. I don't think that the history of this film festival is very well known, and it's an important part of our history in Edmonton. So in 1991 and 1992, I was part of Gaylock, Gays and Lesbians on Campus, and I had promised that I would create a film night for us. I had really conceived of it as being 10 people and a couple videos and a bunch of popcorn, but it didn't end up that way. It grew into something much better. In 1991 and 92, the political climate was quite hot and quite hostile. There was always something in the newspaper homophobic coming from the public, but also more troubling coming from government within the Klein cabinet. I created the film festival. I went to the National Film Board of Canada, and I talked to somebody there, and I will leave her name out because she received death threats when this actually happened. I put her name in the brochure, thanking the National Film Board and the coordinator who helped me at the National Film Board, and she received death threats. Had I known that would happen, of course, I never would have put her name in the program. I talked to this person at the National Film Board about film, and she said, well, you can use the Metro Cinema at Canada Place for free. We will bring in the films. You order the films, you can bring in the films, have the film festival, and then you can pay for the films after. So I ordered films, artistic films, Canadian films from, I believe it was called Video In and Video Out in Vancouver, M Media, I think it was called, in Winnipeg, possibly YYZ in Toronto. I was looking for Canadian films by gay and lesbian Canadian filmmakers with gay and lesbian content and bisexual content as well. So it was a great festival. It was bigger than I imagined. It was very well received. I was interviewed by CBC Radio. I was interviewed by the Edmonton Journal, and I was interviewed by the Edmonton Sun, and I think possibly CTV News as well, because I remember video, huge video camera. So it had quite a lot of press. We had no money whatsoever to make it happen, so thank goodness the NFB let us pay later. We created brochures and we put them out into the public. Me and a few people from Gaylock phoned some businesses to see if we could get some ads in our program. And mostly we had very good, positive interactions with a few surprising, really homophobic comments. But for the most part, very good. It took place in March of 1991 at the Metro Cinema at Canada Place, Edmonton. We filled the theater to capacity, and I probably shouldn't say this, but we let a few people in at the back. We kind of went over. It was very exciting. Everybody was very happy to be together. When I arrived at Canada Place the first night, I found that the fire alarms were going to go off at a certain point. They'd scheduled fire alarm testing during the film festival. I asked them if they could turn it off. No, it was pre-scheduled. They would not turn it off. At the very beginning of the film festival, I went to the front. I talked to people. I said, and I'm sorry, but sometime during this film and over the next 3 nights of the festival, at some point, a fire alarm will go off. But they were in good spirits. They didn't mind. And so we got into the films. The films were happening. Very hot sex scene started to happen, and the fire alarms went off the first night, and the crowd cheered and clapped, and it was funny. And so I'll always remember that about the spirit of the community. It was very positive and very excited, and everybody knew it was something special. So that was the first festival. The second festival, I had some people help me coordinate bringing in the films. And it took place in Pride Week at the University of Alberta campus, sub-theater. We brought in, it was the same type of art film Canadian gay and lesbian, bisexual directors and producers, as well as content. And we're able to bring in a few films from the UK as well. Again, it was just this really exciting time. People were very excited to be part of it, and I'm thrilled to be part of it. Now, about 2 years later, there was another first gay and lesbian film festival in Edmonton. And so I felt I had to come here today as well to talk about our history, and because if these things aren't archived, we don't know. I mean, I think my film festival was the first gay and lesbian film festival in Edmonton. I'm pretty sure it was in 1991 and 92. After that, I know there was another first. I remember reading about it in the paper. And, it's not a problem except for the fact that if we don't know our history, we keep staying at this preliminary place of building where we can't pick up from what we've done. We can't build on our foundations because our foundations keep getting erased, and sometimes we erase our own foundations. So that's in part why I'm here and why I want to speak to you today about the first gay and lesbian film festival in 1991 and 1992. Thanks so much.